the world of football, Cristiano Ronaldo is a name that needs no introduction. With numerous accolades and achievements under his belt, he has been a dominant force in the sport for over a decade. However, in a recent interview, Ronaldo admits that his career may be in decline, sparking discussion and speculation among fans and analysts alike. Before we start, we'd like to encourage our viewers to pick a topic for our next video. Check the link in the description to pitch your ideas for content. We want to make the videos that you want to see. When Erik was first asked about the prospective contributions of Cristiano Ronaldo to his team during his inaugural press conference, he responded succinctly with a single word: goals. However, in the months that followed, the football star proved to be a source of turmoil for Manchester United rather than a reliable scorer, having only found the back of the net 3 times. Out of those 3 goals, 2 were scored against FC Sheriff, with one being a rebound and the other being a penalty. Ultimately, Ronaldo became increasingly dissatisfied with his situation at the club and sought to leave, with an interview with Piers Morgan appearing to be the most likely path to securing the termination of his contract. Given Morgan's tendency to avoid challenging his guests, Ronaldo seemed poised to use the interview as an opportunity to present his side of the story. After his interview with Piers Morgan aired, fans were left wondering how much more drama Cristiano Ronaldo could stir up in his second stint at Manchester United. As it turned out, the answer was quite a bit. The following day, part 2 of the interview hit the airwaves, leaving the club to weigh their options with all the gravity of a superhero deciding which cape to wear for battle. But despite their best efforts to find a solution, Ronaldo's position with the club became increasingly untenable, like a poor constructed Jenga tower wobbling precariously before collapsing in a heap. The writing was on the wall, and 6 days later the official announcement was made that Ronaldo would be leaving the club by mutual agreement. Thus, his second coming at Old Trafford came to a shuddering halt, leaving fans to mourn the end of an era and contemplate the harsh realities of life without their beloved goal-scoring machine. In a truly remarkable exchange of verbal volleys, Cristiano Ronaldo let loose with a barrage of criticisms aimed at his manager, his teammates, and even his employer. While certain portions of the interview contained valid points, such as his thoughts on the Glazer family, the consensus was that Ronaldo's overall demeanour was smacked of delusion. The football superstar gave off the impression of a player in decline, someone who was struggling to come to terms with the fact that his career was winding down, and that his days of dominance were numbered. Before speaking with Piers Morgan, Ronaldo had only been handed 4 starts in the Premier League, and for good reason. His finishing had been uncharacteristically off, and he'd been proved very little value to the team when he didn't have the ball. It was a stark contrast to the Ronaldo of old, who has been an unstoppable scoring machine and a constant menace to opposing defences. As hard as it is to believe, even the greatest of footballers eventually succumbed to the relentless march of time, and Cristiano Ronaldo was no exception. Despite looking like a sprightly young gazelle in his early days, the passage of time has transformed him into a 37-year-old mere mortal on the pitch. Unsurprisingly, he did not see eye to eye with Erik on how to manage his decline, until this week when he spoke out publicly for the first time about his abrupt departure from Manchester United. "Sometimes you have to go through some things to see who is on my side," Ronaldo reflected. "I have no problem admitting that I had a rough patch in my career, but there's no use dwelling on the past. Life moves on, and whether I'm doing well or not is all part of my journey. When we're at the pinnacle of success, it's easy to overlook what lies beneath. Now, I'm more prepared and have learned some valuable lessons, because the last few months have been a whole new experience for me. In a way, it's made me a better man." And with those words, Ronaldo showed that even in the face of adversity, he was still capable of finding the silver lining. Cristiano Ronaldo was stubbornly unwilling to accept the reality of his declining skills on the pitch. However, his subsequent decision to jump ship and sign with the Saudi Arabian team Al Nassr was a clear acknowledgement that all was not well. It seemed that Ronaldo needed to take some time away from the spotlight to come to terms with his unsatisfactory exit from Manchester United. Whether or not he agrees with Erik decision to reduce his role with the team this season remains to be seen. But his recent comments during a Portugal press conference suggest that he may have finally come to terms with his decline. "I've had a bad run in my career." Ronaldo admitted a statement that could easily be interpreted as an acknowledgement of his waning abilities. It takes a big person to admit their shortcomings, and it seems that even Cristiano Ronaldo is not immune to the ravages of time. He described his tumultuous experience as being part of his growth, and claimed to have emerged as a better man from the ordeal. These words suggest that Ronaldo has come to terms with his shortcomings and may have learned from his mistakes. However, it's difficult to say for certain whether Ronaldo would handle a similar situation differently if given the chance. Only the player himself knows the full extent of his thoughts and motivations. It's possible that in the future Ronaldo may clarify that he could have reacted better or differently. There's no doubt that Ronaldo's frustration at not regularly starting created problems for Erik ten Hag. The player's refusal to be substituted during a match against Tottenham at Old Trafford was a shameful episode and marked the beginning of the end. His subsequent interview with Piers Morgan served as the nadir of his time at Manchester United. Since he departed from Manchester United, there has been much discussion about what Cristiano Ronaldo's legacy will be. However, given how he left the club, it's unlikely that he'll be celebrated alongside the likes of the Holy Trinity anytime soon. That being said, Ronaldo's recent comments seem to indicate that he's taking steps forward, repairing his relationship with the club and his fans. While time will tell whether these wounds can be fully healed, it's encouraging to see the player acknowledging his shortcomings and expressing a desire to move forward. With continued efforts towards reconciliation, perhaps Ronaldo's legacy at Manchester United can still be salvaged. Now, what about his national team career? Ronaldo made headlines when he joined Al Nassr in January, becoming the highest paid player in history, with a staggering €2 million yearly salary. While he was enjoying success on the pitch, scoring 8 goals in 9 games, there have been concerns about the quality of the Saudi Pro League and the impact on his international career. However, new Portugal manager Roberto Martinez, who took over from Fernando Santos in January, has expressed confidence in the 38-year-old. Ronaldo is currently Portugal's top scorer with 118 goals, and Martinez has little doubt about his ability to continue delivering for the national team. Roberto Martinez, the new manager of Portugal, has expressed his confidence in Cristiano Ronaldo's abilities, despite some question marks over his international future. Martinez, who's previously managed Belgium, took over the Portugal job in January, and has stated that he plans to give all players a fair chance to be part of the national team. We're going to start a footballing process to try to get to know all the players that could make it to the national team, Martinez said. We're going to give all the players an opportunity and respect all those who are already in the national team. Cristiano is one of them. I'm delighted to be able to have him by my side. It's a process that we have to face naturally, with responsibility, and we're going to make the important decisions for the team. Ronaldo, who currently has the joint most caps in international football with 196, is Portugal's top scorer with 118 goals, while Kuwait's Badir Al Muata is also tied for the record. It's uncertain whether he will play in the upcoming match against the Philippines. Meanwhile, Portugal will be playing against Liechtenstein. Despite Ronaldo's move to the Saudi Pro League side Al Nassr, where he became the highest paid player in history, Martinez has little doubt about the 38-year-old's abilities. With 8 goals in 9 games for Al Nassr since joining in January, Ronaldo's international future seems bright. What do you think about the career of Cristiano Ronaldo? Is it coming to an end, or do you think he still has plenty left to offer? Has his controversial departure from Manchester United left a stain on his legacy, or will he be remembered as one of the greatest players of all time? Do you think his move to Al Nassr in Saudi Arabia was a wise decision, or should he have stayed in Europe to finish his career? What about his international future? Let us know in the comments below what you think about the current state and prospects of Ronaldo's illustrious career.